Autonomy and independence are really important. I think like less about the individual and more about the autonomy and independence of each co-op. I think that in the world, it's really common to be drawn towards unifying and sort of homogenizing offerings because, right, we then have more buying power, we are a larger group. But I think it's really, really important that co-ops remain autonomous and independent in some ways because they specifically need to feed their community. And the idea that there's a one-size-fits-all sort of co-op that would meet every community's needs just doesn't make any sense. So I feel like encouraging cooperatives to understand that they are a very unique community of people and that trying to sort of do exactly what another co-op is doing is not necessarily going to work. And that you can't sort of cookie cutter pick up someone's plan and bring it to your community without really knowing the people that you're trying to serve.
It's interesting because I think sometimes this principle of autonomy and independence can seem at odds with other parts of cooperatives, right? Literally cooperating. So I think the piece of this principle that's really important to hold on to is I think it really reflects this by members for members component of cooperatives that I think is really paramount, is that the co-op is never going to give up the power that the members hold, and ideally it's going to do the opposite, right? It's going to empower their members and draw that power back into the community. And I think that's a big part of cooperative principle number 4 to keep in mind, is that sure, we are all interconnected, but that interconnection should serve the members ultimately and not others.
Autonomy and independence is very important for the Detroit People's Food Co-op. In the context of a society where white supremacy still reigns supreme, it's incredibly important that Black people and other oppressed groups have our own independent structures which advance our aspirations and which allow us to galvanize power. So while the Detroit People's Food Co-op is open to all residents of the state of Michigan, regardless of so-called race, we explicitly are a Black-led co-op, and we explicitly are formed to assist Detroit's Black community. And so it's important that we have autonomy and independence as we navigate the dynamics of racial oppression in American society.
This is the great differentiator between co-ops and others in my mind. In the credit union movement, we have a goal now of financial well-being for all, which largely encompasses financial education and building financial capacity. And we do run into some barriers at our credit union in delivering education. I would characterize them in 2 areas. One of them I would say was cultural. Language might be cultural, religion and your family. They all shape the way you look at money and finances. And a second category is more physical, like how you learn or the channels through which you learn, electronically, in person. And timing is really critically important. Certainly you want to learn about mortgages around the time you're ready for home ownership. So our goal is to go where our members are.
I think education is the key, right? Partly because we have to unlearn this notion of independence and to learn interdependence, right? Like how we work together and how we can utilize our gifts, talents, and assets for the benefit of creation, right? And so within that, educating on what co-ops are, educating on how they work, how we can leverage our resources to provide the needs and the services that we want in our community, how we self-determine and build power. I think education is just vital to all of this. Like in the market, one of the things that we found most meaningful has been training the worker owners so that they can be like frontline organizers, like sharing co-op principles and sharing the benefits of cooperative development, right? Because it's something that we're all learning together. But to me, it's like it's the key to building strong, vibrant, resilient communities.
Yeah, when I was doing a little research on the cooperative principles, it seems like education and training information. What we're really trying to do is tell people how great cooperatives are, and to really make people believe that this is a different way of doing business that works better. And what that made me think of is a former board member of ours who we used to have, who his name was George Fisher, who would always talk about cooperatives are the hack of capitalism, and that it's a true hack. It's a way that we can build wealth without making sure that wealth just goes to a very few people. And so I think there's an opportunity for us to double down on some of that, and talk about that more.
How does autonomy and independence impact you as a dog? Okay. Paw. We'll be independent together.